It's been enough killing today.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer and credits scene by scene. So you don't have to, but maybe we should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
There has been enough killing today. And we're back with part 2 of our full breakdown of Alone in the Dark, the video game movie adaptation of the movie, the game of the same name from 2005. Christian Slater, Stephen Dorff, Tara Reid.
Uwe Boll.
Yeah, Uwe Boll. If you were with us for part 1, this is more of a comedy than it is any type of action or horror. So,
yeah, but not the intentional kind, and not the kind that's actually funny,
Yeah.
and not the kind that you want to spend any time watching. But listen to us do comedy about it.
Yes, because we are hands down making this movie better already. So we left off. Carnby's back at the apartment. He's got his, we got a bunch of exposition from Fish. We got some gadgets to play with. We got some weapons to deal with. He's shirtless, taking a nap. We got exposition left and right. We got tons of voiceover. I mean, what else does a growing movie need? You know,
that's right.
And then we cut right to after. This scene, I don't understand this scene, but we cut to the 713 bureau, and is it Miles who goes up to some random guy, and he's just like, "Hey, you get that list?" And the guy's like, "No data, no list. Leave me alone."
Look, there's possible, then there's impossible. And you're like, yes, those are words. What? Like,
so he's like, "No data, no list." And then Miles walks away, and the guy's like, "And leave me alone." I was like, "What is this scene for? Why does this?" What?
I was like, "This guy just wanted to bully that guy."
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? So then we're down to the 713 autopsy here, right? And some dude comes down. I think it was Miles. I don't know. I don't care who it was, but some guy comes down and gets Fish. He's like, "Commander Burke wants to see you." Everyone talks like that, by the way. And then we cut back to the Carnby apartment here, and Aline Cedric shows up.
We're outside in the alley, so like Aline is like walking around in the same alley that Edward walked down earlier. She's like doing the same kind of looking around thing, and you're like, "Oh, I forgot this is the alley outside his house." So then she walks in, and we get kind of a better angle of it this time. This is the first time that we can really see that it's like a giant warehouse. We're like, "What? Why is this place like this?" And then she just like makes herself at home. She's like takes off her jacket, and she's like sitting around looking through his stuff.
Yep.
While he's sleeping.
Just sleeping. I'm like, okay, sure.
Also, what kind of security is here? Like,
none.
Terrible.
And we cut back to the bureau, and we got Burke. He's like, you met with he's talking to Fish now, right? He's like,
yep.
You met with Carnby, didn't you? He's like, just being a total dick. And he's like, I want all the intel you got about Carnby. And that's it. That's the whole scene.
Yep.
Okay.
Which side are you on here?
What the?
A lot of that.
Yeah. Just give me intel.
Then we cut to the Fish house.
The Fish house. Yeah, the Fish house. And we have the wife making dinner, right? And Fish is doing some work and reading his notes, right? And we get the doorbell rings, and the wife goes and answers the door. And it takes a long time. We're just focused on Fish here. And then we start hearing dogs barking. And then there's nothing happened. No one returns. He's like, "Oh, where's that damn woman? Why is she cooking my dinner?" And he gets up and walks into the living room and sees.
I think he's a little more concerned about his wife.
Yeah, I know. He definitely is. And he walks in the living room. He's like, "Oh no, Sarah, what are you doing on the floor?" And then out of nowhere comes
dead as hell.
Yeah, dead as hell. And out of nowhere comes Hudgens, just choking him.
Yeah, which, like, again, he's an old man that got beat up by a sledgehammer like a day ago. like there's no way he's in this good a shape that he's like subduing slightly younger person and his wife and like strangling them both.
I think that's the juice, the steroids he's taken, that's juicing him up. I think that's what that is. Yeah.
Oh, the darkness juice.
Yeah, the darkness juice. So he's shooting himself up. It's like steroids. So he's like, I can do whatever I want.
Nice. Okay.
So he chokes up Fish there, and then he drops a little creature bug down his throat. I'm like, where is he getting these from? Oh, because he made him. That's right. And so now he's like, now you're with us, and Fish turns into zombie Fish.
Then we cut back to Edward, who's inexplicably awake now, and they're just like in the middle of a conversation. Like the scene starts, and it's like halfway through. He's like, "Well, the pieces just fit together, but why?" He's like, what?
So,
what pieces? What are
we talking
what's happening?
about?
And she's like, well, if you think about it, they like if you look at these things here, they're matching up with these constellations. Like they're both looking at a computer now.
They're looking at the to be specific, they're looking at the Galactic Interferometry version 2.7. So yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
just doing its magic.
Yeah, and Tara Reid's like, well, the computers can pinpoint a location with blah, 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 like using the constellations, and you're like,
what is going? Like,
stop saying words. Just like,
just be like, oh, the thing's doing a thing, and we know where we got to go.
Yeah, and Gobbledygook said,
"Flippity flop."
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Well, it's like I need to go take a frumpy dump. I just woke up.
So then, like the lights start flickering. They're like, "Oh no, here we go!" And Carnby goes to check things out, right?
Yeah, and he's like, "Here's a gun." Hands her a gun, and you're like, "Wait, can she use that?
Can she?"
I mean, we'll find out in a second. But
all we know about her is that she works in a museum and cataloging artifacts. That's all we know about her.
She's like an archaeology assistant.
Like, all right, okay. Indiana Jones, let's relax. So then John shows up and he attacks Carnby, and Carnby just shoots him. Oh, found.
Yeah. Well, after he strangles him. So he tries to strangle Carnby, and he's like, "John, it's me, your buddy." And he's like, "Well, guess I got to shoot him."
That's gonna be an awkward conversation with Linda. So I found your husband, but
then I murdered him.
Yeah, some guy shot him. And then like a whole bunch of other zombies show up, and then she starts popping. I'm like, what is going on here?
Without a second thought, she's just like gunning down people who look like human beings. She doesn't know that they're all aliens or whatever.
Oh my!
I don't think she's up for this.
I don't know either.
Okay.
And then we get a pretty bad CG monster shows up, and then they just run. Then he gets his like cool new gun out, right? And he just starts hosing the thing, and then that's when it turns into dust from the trailer.
That's like up on the catwalk in his house.
I don't like. There's no placement of anything here. And then it's funny. Then they stop and like they calm down for a bit, and he's like, "I just killed John." And then
he's like, "I just killed John," and she goes, "Well, you had no choice." Like just like the callousness, just like
there's no choice. There's like no comforting at all. And like, I just killed my friend.
Yeah.
Well, you had to. The day you have to kill me, I was like, hope Thais is just like, well, you had to.
Well, you had no choice. Yeah,
you had no choice.
And then it cuts to this Rambo montage. This is the next 5 minutes, basically. Where it's just like guns and darkness and monsters and metal music, and it's like
it's a song "Ghost" by Nemec, whatever.
Sure,
nuclear blast. I assume. Nemec. Nuclear blast band. And I was just like, what is going on right now? It's just chaos for 5 minutes. Guns, monsters, darkness. Nothing makes any sense. It's just terrible. It's almost like on the line of like kind of stylistic. I'm giving it way too much credit right now. So think of like Sin City, but really, 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 really bad. Like it kind of felt like that almost, where it doesn't fit the mood of the rest of the movie at all. And like
kind of like Gamer too, where like very similar kinds of shots from Gamer, where it was just like just nonsense bodies, like
stylistically not making any sense and coherent and or consistent with the rest of the movie.
Then there's like a kind of a pause in the battle. And the 713 people are like, well, the body counts at 6. And they're like, how many casualties? 9 so far. And you're like, wait,
wait, what?
Are we counting alien bodies? Or like, what are we doing here?
Oh my
and then like Burke shows up and he's like, all right, all the agents have to do something. And he just like strolls in casually, which again, this was a war zone.
Yeah.
Like a minute ago. What's happening? And Edward's just like standing there with his gun, and Burke's like, drop your weapons. And he's like, you think I'm one of these creatures? That's not
how this, what is?
Out of nowhere, Warzone breaks out again. It's like more creatures.
More of those creatures show up and like just absolute chaos. And we got like a kung fu fighting scene going on. Burke kills one with like a spear to the chest. And then we get Carnby saving Burke's life.
Edward's like, hey, Burke. Yeah. Hey, Burke. And he's like, what? And like some guy's about to kill him, and he just like guns him down. He's like, I got you.
I got you, bud. I got your back.
What? And then it's like a graphic shot that like also doesn't fit the rest of the scene, where like some guy's like spine ripped open, and it's
like throat gets
oozing blood out of it. Like, wait, this...
What? That's where your 10 million extra special effects went.
Yeah, so yeah. I hate this scene so much, the whole thing.
And then it cuts to I guess there's two random agents who are like just upstairs alone checking things out.
I guess so.
I don't,
or like in the basement or in a closet, or no one. You can't tell.
And I don't know why it's important. Like, it's not important at all. I don't. Does anything happen? They're like, where's our backup? And they're like, you're on your own because like shit's going on downstairs. I'm like, why are we coming?
I think it's important later because they're the two who like kind of have each other's back.
Is it Richards and Kiefer or whatever?
Right, exactly.
Veer, whatever her name is. Okay, maybe,
yeah. And so like terrible. HQ's like, you're on your own out there. Like, fuck.
And then we cut back. Like, meanwhile, downstairs, absolute chaos. I'm just like, I'm waiting for random explosions to happen. I'm picturing it's like that scene from Anchorman when they do the big fight scene, like random stuff is happening. Yes. That's what this feels like right now. And
it's like there's like neck snapping and gunshots and blood on the camera, like a POV, like quick shot, like wait, what?
Oh my god! And we get the zombie swan dive, the guy who jumps off the top and like slow mo like falls down and they just pumping him full of bullets. I'm like, what? And then it all just stops and someone's like, "We got any more?" And like, scanner says, "No, we're clear."
All heat signatures motionless, and you're like, "Wait, but you're also a bunch of people. Wouldn't they be heats?" And then they're like, don't touch any of the dead bodies, by the way.
Oh,
okay.
God.
And like Edwards, again, he's just like clueless. He's like, what's going on? You're like, wait, what? And
then, what's going on.
Yeah. But then for some reason, people have to explain to him again. They're like, well, Fish and Hudgens are missing now. He's like, I feel like this is probably just the beginning of something. And then on the radio, they're like, science spy is on the way. Did you catch that? Like,
I think
what are they? Is that like a special unit of something? It's literally they say science spy like 4 times. Like, science spy is on the way. Don't touch the bodies. Science spy is coming.
Is it spy or science guy? And it meant Fisher. Like Fisher's on his way.
Science spy. Nope. Because I had the captions on too, and I was like, oh, did they say science spy? And then I was like, yep, science spy.
Sure did. Okay, that's weird. And I love how Burke is like, he's like, all right, I'll give you more information. I'll give you more details when we get in the air. And by the way, I need my ID back. God. So then there's like this transition shot. I guess I'll just, I don't know, I'll explain this. So there's a transition shot of like the 713 agents just doing things. And then we cut to the helicopter ride
somewhere.
Yeah, like we don't know where.
Yeah.
And then there's a helicopter ride, and it's like the car ride in the beginning where the camera's just on the helicopter flying, and then we have Burke and Carnby having this very long exposition-y conversation, and Burke clues Carnby in about everything, where they're going, what they're doing. Oh, I guess he tells him here, oh, we found it's an old mine near where Carnby grew up, like by the orphanage.
They shut it down 22 years ago, and he's like, that's when I was there.
Oh my God.
Well, there's no paranormal activity at the moment, but then Hudgens and Pinkerton were the agents together, and they were doing all this stuff. And you're like, wait, what?
Why is this happening?
Yeah. So then they land at this location that we don't know what it is. I guess it's the abandoned gold mine.
Yeah, it's abandoned gold mine. Yeah. It's a abandoned gold mine.
Where?
Near the orphanage where they grew up. Yeah, it's just where he grew up, I guess. Okay, sure. So we got like Burke doing his like classic, like showing up on scene. We need more men. This ain't enough.
Get more bodies down here right now. Look at this place. Look at this. We need more. He literally, we need more. And you're like, more what?
And then I love,
damn it.
And I feel like it's like a running joke, but I love that Turner is the guy who's trying to get the generator on. I'm like, why wouldn't they just bring their own generator? Why are they turning on the generator in the gold mine? I was like, whatever, that's fine. But I love how he just gets his balls busted the entire time. Like, where are the lights? Why don't we have lights at? And like Turner's just there trying to get the generator going.
He's like, I'm trying. And Burke's like, this is a top priority. Like, oh, okay.
Just bring your own generators.
Edward's just like looking around with like dramatic music, and he's like trying to find something. Like, we'll find it in a minute, but they're just like, Burke's like, Edward, what are you doing over there? And then it's like the sexy sax transition plays again. And he's like, these readings are huge. Never seen anything like it. Wait, what?
And he gets like a vision of like the tunnel or something like that, the mine tunnel, doesn't he, or something?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is where we need to go.
He's staring at it.
He's like, this is where we need to go. I was like, okay. Yeah. And then I was like,
they're all coming here for a reason. We need to know what it is. And you're like, do you? And who's they?
Yeah, what is? God damn it. And I was also like, why is Aline Cedric still with them? She's an archaeologist. Why is she in this military operation all of a sudden? And with this hidden agency 713. Like, go home.
You should be keeping her safe. Yeah.
Go home.
Unqualified.
And then we get this really, really long montage, basically. I kind of labels a montage of 713 agents just setting things up.
Burke's like, wait a second. We go in? And Edward's like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, Miles, defend the perimeter. And then that's when it's like weird 80s drums. I don't know. It's like, and then it's like montage of it, like you said, like they're like, here's a Jeep. And they're like, guys, like lifting
Hummers.
stuff.
Yeah.
Putting it down.
The lady tracking a turret with her hand, like the motion just like setting up mines and like doing all this stuff. And like Turner still sucks his job.
Drive by.
Turner still sucks his job. He can't get the generator going. It's like, what is going on right now? We cut back to the tech crew at 713. Computer. Yeah, like, and they're at the computer, and like she does some like the same move she's done a million times in this movie. She moves from one seat and like slides her chair over to another computer. I'm like, oh, we've seen that shot 4 times already.
She's like, Britannia, Operation Code Yellow. And you're like, what does that mean? They were like, I think in the script it was probably just like, say words.
Oh my god. And like in the montage goes, it's still going on, and there's like a weird misfire, like there's a gunshot, and everyone's like, "Hold your fire, hold your fire." It was a misfire. I'm like, why is that happening? Why is this happening? That's not important to anything at all right now.
Yep. So then, listeners, just so you know, from here on out, it's just basically the movie's like cut between this scene and stuff that happens in the tunnel. So if we jump around quickly, it's because the movie also does. Yeah. So we're in the tunnel. Yeah, we're in the tunnel, and then there's the surface. Tunnel and surface. That's how I was kind of separating them. So we cut to the tunnel. The gang's heading in, right? And nothing really important happens other than they're just walking. And then we cut back to the surface, and Turner finally gets the generator running. Jesus. And that's for a second there. I was like, is Turner a double agent, like deliberately messing with the generator? And I was like, that could make this movie interesting.
Because they kept going back to him like over and over again. I'm like, maybe something important's got to happen here. I mean, it kind of does later, but not really. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. All right. Yeah. Then we're in the tunnel, and they keep just running into dead ends. And they're like, I guess we should double back.
We're not finding anything. Yeah. Wait a second. Look at these symbols. Wait, what?
Ta-da.
Hey, wait a second. There's more over here. And then that's when we get from the trailer, Marco's like, I think I found something.
Marco Polo
falls in a pit of spears, basically. And
we lost our Marco. He's done. And then Burke's like, we got to go down there.
Like, oh, that's the logical explanation for this.
Oh my god! So then we cut to the 713 Tech HQ here, right? The Bureau agency. Yep. And then isn't this when they hear something? Like hear something on the roof, or like they sense something's coming or whatever? Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't like.
I think it's supposed to cue you. I think it's supposed to cue you into that when they come out of the surface later on and go back to the city. Everyone's gone because like that means the monsters have gotten out further. I guess I don't know, but like we're just like at like a forest that happens to be near the mine, and it's like they announced like, well, we have to hold the fort until dawn. Yeah.
Like, what?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then it's like Hudgens is just like directing the army of monsters basically through the forest, and they're all just like running around, and you're like, okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, that's when the radio interference starts, right?
Right. Yep. Well, they're dropping down they're dropping down the deep hole. They're coming down the ladder there, right?
Yep, exactly. And then this is when Fish comes back, zombie Fish.
Yes. Yep.
Right. Out of nowhere, and he's like,
kills Turner
at the generator, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And zombie Fish like stabs him and then blows up just blows himself up. Like, what the fuck? And then it cuts back to like monsters running through the forest again, and the soldiers are all like getting prepped. They're like, hold your fire, wait till you see the whites of their eyes.
Hold. And then all of a sudden, like the monsters arrive. We can see like the mines start going off. Things are starting to blow up, right? And then like we get 2 helicopters just like taking off. I'm like, are they just taking off for the sake of it? Like, what the hell's going on now? And then it's just like absolute chaos gunfire again. Like there's a holy hell amount of gunfire.
There's a quick cut in between where they radio down to the tunnel, and they're like, we're retrieving Marco. And you're like, wait, that's why they're going down there? I thought it was to like further the plot. And like, no, they're just going down there only to get Marco's body. And you're like, what? How does this make any sense? But yeah, then there's like huge monster fight montage for
Massive.
way too long.
so long and just terrible and just chaotic. And then we cut back to the mine hole here, and they're like, we got to move faster, right? And then like Aline loses her grip and she starts falling. Carnby catches her. And then we got like a pillar. Then there's like a pillar thing coming down the tunnel. So like we gotta get moving. And I love how they get like all the way to the bottom, and like the other lady agent, she's like kind of stuck, and like Burke cuts her loose, and then she like they jump and they barely escape, but she like injures her leg.
Yep.
And then we cut back to the surface, and it's just chaos, gunfire. I don't know, like there's agents getting all messed up, monsters getting messed up. Yeah. It's just chaos.
This is like the tide of the fight, I think, starts to turn here, and it's like not going well for the humans anymore.
Definitely is not. Yeah. And then we cut back to the mine with our heroes here. And then I love how Carnby's like, I don't think we should be here. Like, what? Are you just what? Why would you?
Yeah. And then like it cuts over to Aline, who's like she's sees it, finds some like hieroglyphics, and she's like, wait a second, I think I can make this out. It's a warning. Once you make it down here alive, you're already dead. Like, what? And then Burke's like, I gotta get on the radio. Hey, how's it going up there? Hey. And it's just like radio interference.
Static, nothing's happening, right? And then Tech HQ, we cut to them and they're like, just try a different frequency. I'm like, what is okay? Just more chaos. A monster takes down one of the helicopters. It's just absolute chaos. Finally. Nothing makes any sense.
They're like, now they're giving the orders to retreat. They're like, everyone fall back. Yeah. This isn't going well.
Yeah. And then we get some stuff from the trailer, right? We get the sand monsters. We got like these wormy things that are underneath the sand. They're skirting around, and like they literally spend like
way too long.
It spend like 3 to 5 minutes just shooting dirt and trying to shoot this monster. And then like I love how Aline, she's like, oh, there's one right there. He's like, thanks. And he's like, I'm like, what are you doing? And then the lady agent gets bit and yeah, and then lady agent, she gets bit, and then she's just dead. That's it.
Like Burke's like, she's dead. You're like,
okay. And then we're back at the surface, and we got like some 713 agent just like walking like all alone, like walking around. I don't know what happens. And Big Monster just tears him up, right? Kills him. And then another lady agent, she shows up, and like everyone's dead. Like everyone's just like mutilated.
She's like surveying the damage here.
Yeah, I forget what her name was, but she connects with Richards. And they're basically like the last two alive, right? Yeah. And Richards is like, go take some high ground. I'm going to stay here. So she takes off. We're back in the mine and the tunnel. They come across a concrete wall. They're like, oh, someone's been down here.
Well, that's what you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. And
then Burke's like, let's blow it up.
Yeah. When in doubt, just let's blow it up.
Oh, we should set off explosives in this tunnel that could collapse on top of it. Like, what are you doing?
Like, you know how gold mines work, man.
And then we get a bunch more cuts of like the woman 713 agent walking around by herself
upstairs
in the dark.
That's it. And then we got Richards like shooting some monster. Yeah, and like Richards just shooting some monster, and that's it. And then we get more of her walking upstairs, and we cut back to the mine, and we got like this. They set the bomb. It's literally just like a slow cooker like timer.
Yep.
And it blows up in a terrible CGI fashion. It's just we get an explosive wall there.
Yep.
Back at
Meanwhile,
the surface.
our agent is still just like walking around in the dark and like the same stairway. And like someone calls out to her. And then they say Feenstra?
I think it's Feenstra.
Like, what is Feenstra?
That's her name. I think it's her name. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Why did they spell it like that?
I don't know. I don't know why anything.
That's what the caption said, because I wrote it down. I was like, what is this?
I don't know why anything exists. I don't know why anything exists in this movie at all. Like, I don't.
Feenstra, listeners. I couldn't tell you. And I don't think that's her name.
Oh no, it is like in the credits. Yeah, it's like her last name.
Oh, okay,
Agent Feenstra.
Okay,
I don't know. Pinkerton, like that's the name of a character. Pinkerton,
yeah.
Agent Pinkerton. Like really, come on. Like there's name generators. Come up with something.
Yeah.
Right,
and so we get more tunnel walking around.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. I wasn't even paying attention to this part, so I don't even know what happened. But I don't think anything happened. So, and then we cut back to the surface, right?
Yep.
Oh my god.
This is a different soldier, the one who told Feenstra to find the high ground or whatever.
Yeah, this is Richards.
And he's like looking around and he's like seeing monster shadows and he's like, oh no. And I'm like, this guy is not being stealthy right now. He has a flashlight on his gun. Like
no, there's no subtlety here at all.
Yeah.
And he
walks
Feenstra.
over.
Yeah. And her head's just split open. And he's like, oh my god.
She's like writhing around on the ground, like still alive somehow. And you're like, her head is like mush, like what
split open. And then we get like the classic, like very, very alien-esque moment where the monster drops in behind him, and then he turns and it cuts away to like a wide shot, and then for some reason it comes back in, and like Richards is just covered in like a really terrible bloodbath of just blood all over him. Like, what? Why?
So stupid.
Why are we doing these things? So then we're back in the tunnel, and we find Hudgens. The wall they blew open was Hudgens' his laboratory where he did all of his experiments, right? To all the kids.
Like the beds are all orphan sized.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was all like this. It's weird because I guess for them it's a reveal, but for us, like this is all explained in like the opening crawl again. Like we know he was doing all these experiments to people, so it's like this isn't like a big reveal for us.
Well,
which is ridiculous,
right? But. And they revealed earlier that Edward was part of the experiment here.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
oh my God.
He's like Burke is like wandering around, and he's like, oh my God, you gotta come see this. And Carnby walks over, and like they show the little plaque, and it says number 713 E Carnby. And he's like, oh my God, 713 E Carnby. He's like, this is where they implanted us with those things. Like, no. Burke's like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. And he like goes over and like opens a folder. There's like a random folder just on the desk, and Edward is like, oh my God, I think I've realized it. And Burke's like, we've been trying to fight something they created this whole time for fucking nothing. God damn it. Like, what?
Like so over the top, flips the table over. Like, what? My guys are dying out there for nothing. Like, what?
My guys are dying out here
for nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then one of the other extra dudes there, he like, agents there, he opens up the...
Come here.
Hey, check this out, guys. I know you're flipping out about shit, but check this out. And he flips the lever, and like a gate opens up to the gate, right? The gate that we're looking for. And then they're about to go open the door, and then kapow, Hudgens shows up, and he shoots the other agent, right?
Yeah.
And in this part,
they have like right before this, they have like a little brief, like back and forth, and they're like, well, this is the key. And Burke's like, this could be our only way out is if we go through this gate. And Aleen's like, I don't know. Some doors are meant to stay shut. And they're like, what do you want to do, Carnby? Like, it's all up to you. And he's like, I think we should trust the Akani. And that's when Hudgens shows up and guns down the last guy. Like, that's not Burke or Edward or Aleen. Like, all right, the last extra, get him out of here.
So, yeah, right. That solves that problem, right?
Yeah. And then a bunch more exposition. And Hudgens is like, Edward, you were my last failure. I spent 20 years looking for the key to that door, and like, hand it over or else.
Yeah. This doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you just shoot him?
Yes, exactly.
Just shoot all three of them. You have a gun, and you don't need them. They have the key. Just shoot them.
That's right. And instead, Edward's like, wait a second. Aleen just over. There's been enough killing today. You're like, God. What? So then they give him the key, and he walks over, and he's like gonna open the door, because obviously that's the whole point of what he's trying to do here.
Right.
And Carnby's like, don't be insane, Doc. Don't open that door. What are you doing?
They were just about to do it. They were just about to do it.
Yes. And then somewhere like Burke gets throwing knives and like whips a knife at Hudgens and like hits him in the chest. You're like, what?
Oh my God.
But like on? It's right as Hudgens opens the door, conveniently though. And so then the door opens,
and it's a giant epic
walk up to it
cavern. Yeah, it's just a giant cavern with millions of these monsters, basically, just tons of them, right? They're skirting around, and then I love Carnby's just like, let's just back up nice and easy, okay? Just back up nice and easy. Yeah. And then they close the first door to the laboratory. They close that one.
Well, Burke sets up some explosives first on the floor,
right,
in front of the door.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, like let's get out of here now. So then they shut the outside gate. That's not the correct door. Which you're like, why didn't you shut the one that was open?
With that, yeah. God damn it!
Son of a
bitch. Why is so stupid? And then we're back at the surface. We cut to the surface, right? So they close the door, and they're starting to escape, right? And then we cut back to the surface. Everyone's dead. We get the Tech HQ trying to check in, but she's not getting anything, right? And then they start hearing something. They hear something above them, like something like climbing on their whatever. They just hear ding, ding, ding noise. So it's like, oh, monsters are there.
They're doomed.
Yep. And then we're back at the mine,
and they're like, we got to find a way out somehow. and like the detonator is like beeping, and
Yeah.
Burke's like, crap, detonator's inactive. I gotta go back and get closer.
Yeah, I'm too far away. And he's like, save yourselves. I'll go take care of this. And they're like, come on, Burke.
I was like, what? No, that's stupid. Don't do that. And so then this takes like another 2 minutes. They like have him like running. It makes all of the physics of everything that happens at the end even stupider, because he's running like, I don't know, like a quarter of a mile through some tunnels again, back to the door.
Yeah.
And then like opens the door. That was like keeping the things out, opened fires, like make it known that he's there for some reason.
Like shooting at nothing in particular. And like, you're not doing anything with that.
Grabs the bag of explosives from the ground, and then like doesn't even shut the door at all again.
Nope. Sets his food timer.
Yep. Sets his food timer. And then like we cut back to Edward, and he's like shooting the locks on the bulkhead from underneath, and like escapes just barely out the door with Aline. Burke throws the bomb and then somehow dives away.
He does the classic like jump like away from the thing, like whoa, right?
And then the explosion again, like a quarter of a mile of like fire and wind and just percussive, like massive explosion. That like blows the doors off of the bulkhead that Aline and Edward just walked out of. Like huge explosion.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to Burke, who like kind of like gets up and goes like, oh, wait, he was right next to it.
There's no way he's surviving this. Also, when they come up to like the bulkhead doors there and they open up like the cellar, like it's daytime. I'm like, how long were they down there for? It was nighttime. It was just nighttime for everyone.
Well, they said 4 hours until dawn earlier.
Okay. All right.
Somehow 4 hours have happened.
Yeah, it's not dawn, by the way. It's like mid-afternoon.
It's like afternoon. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's when they also get revealed that it's been under the orphanage the whole time.
Yeah, and they literally come out of the bulkheads, and like there's the orphanage right there, and it's like, dude, how long? This thing has been here forever. How would you not? God damn it!
Yep.
God damn it!
Yeah.
He goes in the orphanage, right? And
yep.
Oh yeah,
but
so by the way, we mentioned that Burke wakes up, but then that's it. We see that he's done. I mean, we hear nothing. There's nothing more about him. Just that he's still alive. Yeah. That's it.
Presumably he gets out. Maybe, I don't know. No one knows. Doesn't matter.
Only the sequel. Only the sequel knows. So yeah, the orphanage, and we got Carnby looking for Sister Clara there, and he comes into a room and finds her dead, right? And has like a sad moment with music playing.
It looks like she like cut her wrists open or something. Like I think she killed herself because of the guilt or something. Is the
maybe
that's what's implied, I think.
I guess so.
And like weirdly, Carnby like closes her eyes and then like strokes her face a bunch, which was like it's wicked out of character.
Yeah, very strange. You know, I was waiting for Cedric to be like, "Well, you had no choice."
Yeah, basically.
And then he sits
and then
down,
it's like,
and
he just just sits. End scene.
And then we get like a city transition shot. You know, just shot of a city, right? And then we get some random shots of just things: a bike with the wheels spinning, a newspaper, a cat.
The music sounds a little more hopeful. Yeah.
Yep. And then we get a title card: 8:45 a.m. City evacuated. I'm like, all right. So then,
why?
Yeah. So then, oh God, the logic here. So they were at the orphanage, which was certainly way out of town. This is not downtown in the city, right? So that means they drove to downtown into the city, and then they're walking around like they're surprised. Like you would have seen that the place was a fact. Oh, God damn it.
That's right.
Anyways, they're just like in the city walking around empty streets.
I love this scene because it's behind them and they're still like walking around, and like Aline, like Tara Reid kind of like goes to like grab his arm and he just like kind of like shrugs her off. Like, wait, what? Like, just, I'm assuming there's bad chemistry between Christian Slater and Tara Reid. I don't know, but it's wicked funny.
Oh my God.
And then they just walk around a bunch more. They go to the 713 HQ office, which is also empty.
Yep.
And he's still wearing his trench coat.
Yep.
Somehow. And they're just like walking around. And then we get the narration again.
Yep.
Well, the gate was closed again. There's a price to pay for bringing darkness into the light.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, we know from opening scroll. The Abkhani discovered and we're wiped from the face of the earth. I was like, so did we.
So stupid.
And then we get like and then it goes like an overhead city shot. And we hear like monster noises, right? Yeah. We hear them. They're building. And then we get like back on the street and we got the monster cam and it's just like speeding through the city streets and like coming up behind them and they turn and then it cuts to black.
The end, finally.
And what is this song at the end? What is happening? Holy smokes.
The whole thing.
Wow. What a nightmare. What a nightmare.
What a movie. I had fun.
Yeah. I mean, I had fun. Some of these are so bad you just have to kind of have fun with them, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what would you do? How do you ameliorate on this one?
I think we just go back to the original script, stick to the video game, stick to the source material.
Yep. No reason to change names.
Nope. No reason to change names or add characters or add weird backstory. Like, it's interesting enough on its own.
Yeah. Just do that.
Just do the video game, but
better.
A movie.
Yeah, movie. That's it. Like,
yeah. Easy enough.
Like, yeah, I don't know if that. I
don't cast Christian Slater.
Yep. Don't need him in there. Nope.
Don't need Tara Reid.
Don't need. Nope. Don't need any of them. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Just do the video game. Like, you have source material. You have 5 versions of this game or 5 sequels, all this sort of stuff. Like, just do that.
Yep. Super easy.
Is that it? Just do.
Kinda.
I think that's it, right? Just do this.
Like, don't make the monsters as stupid. Like, actually use your budget wisely.
Yeah, use the source material and done. All right, well, let's call it then. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a new movie. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. Subscribe wherever you're listening. You can find us on YouTube and share with a friend.
Or share with a stranger. Rate us a review on Apple or Spotify. 5 stars, maybe, if you're feeling generous. Maybe a nice comment. Or if you want to give us a bunch of old-fashioned feedback, you can. You can send us an email. We still have an email address, believe it or not.
We do. Right, we do.
In the year of our Lord, 2023. Yeah. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. We'll read them in Trailer Trash like we always do. Or if you want to not interact with us at all, you can go to the website and interact with virtual us's.
Yeah.
It's thismeetsthat.com. We've got all the old episodes, link to merch. We've got stuff about Russ's book, Host. Go buy that. Buy a t-shirt. I don't know, like support us, right? Like, you love us. We love you. Yeah. We'll send you some stuff. Like, we'll send you stickers or pins or who knows what. But something fun. Check it out.